More than 1 million Rohingya Muslims live in Buddhist-dominated Myanmar. Concentrated in Rakhine State, they have been referred to as the world's most persecuted minority group. Since August the 25th, 611,000 Rohingyas, about half the total population, have fled to neighbouring Bangladesh for safety. Rohingya refugees have given graphic first-hand accounts of beatings, torture, rape, killing and arson by Myanmar's military and Buddhist nationalists. Satellite images confirm at least 288 Rohingya villages have been burned to the ground. The international community has accused Myanmar's military of ethnic cleansing, defined as a policy by one ethnic group to remove by violent or terror-inspiring means the civilian population of another ethnic or religious group from a certain geographic area.
The situation has spiraled into the world's fastest developing refugee emergency and a humanitarian and human rights nightmare.
Discrimination against the Rohingya has a long history in Myanmar. They're widely seen as illegal immigrants from Bangladesh, even though many families trace their roots in Rakhine State back to the 15th century. In 1982, the government granted citizenship to 135 ethnic groups, but not to the Rohingya. As stateless people, the Rohingya are deprived of employment, education, health services, voting rights and the freedom to move within the country. Violence against the Rohingya erupted in 2012, when 4 Muslim men were accused of raping and killing a Buddhist woman. Security forces and Buddhist nationalists beat 10 Muslims to death. Thousands of Rohingyas fled into refugee camps. Tension between Rohingya and their Buddhist neighbours has continued to escalate. In October 2016, a Muslim militant group, the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, or ARSA, began staging attacks on police and military targets in Rakhine State. On August 25, 2017, ARSA attacked dozens of police stations and killed 12 officers. Myanmar security forces responded with disproportionate brutality. According to United Nations estimates, the Myanmar military killed more than 3,000 Rohingyas. 611,000 Rohingya have fled to Bangladesh, joining 400,000 who were already living in refugee camps after earlier cycles of violence. Unsafe boats, overcrowded with refugees trying to escape, have capsized during the rough trip to Bangladesh. Scores, including women and children, have drowned or gone missing while trying to escape the Myanmar military. Bangladesh is struggling to accommodate the influx. Refugee camps are strained beyond capacity, lacking sufficient supplies, and on the verge of a cholera outbreak. Myanmar's leader, Nobel Peace Prize laureate Aung San Suu Kyi, is facing fierce international criticism for saying and doing little about the attacks and ethnic cleansing in her country, where there is vast support for purging the Rohingya. The Myanmar government has refused to grant entry visas to members of a UN fact-finding mission appointed to investigate allegations of killings, rape and torture by security forces against the Rohingya.
The situation remains, or seems, a textbook example of ethnic cleansing.
Bangladesh and Myanmar have met to discuss the repatriation of Rohingyas, but no time frame has been set. It's unclear how many refugees will be included or where they could return to, as most villages have been laid to waste. The Myanmar government has said it would welcome back anybody with appropriate identification papers.
We are prepared to start the verification process at any time.
Given that the Rohingya have never been recognised by the Myanmar government and have never received identification papers, this assertion is markedly disingenuous and rife with danger. The land vacated by fleeing Rohingya is prime farming land and lucrative for those who are claiming it now. Human rights groups have accused Myanmar's military of planting landmines along the Bangladesh border to prevent Rohingyas from returning home. More Rohingyas flee to Bangladesh every day as hunger and fear drive them from their homes in Rakhine State.